So it looks like Elon Musk really is doing this thing and putting his money where his mouth is. He has been unbanning controversial figures left and right. So far, Donald Trump, Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, the Babylon Bee, Sargon of Akkad, Project Veritas, and many, many others by the hour are being unbanned off of Twitter. Some of these accounts have been banned for 5+ years for ridiculous reasons. And this is an absolute win for Twitter, just being a more entertaining platform, but also for just general freedom of speech. There are a lot of people that are extremely upset that these controversial figures have been unbanned, and arguing with these people is just a waste of time because there is just a fundamental mentality difference. The people that are against this are against bad speech being on Twitter. They fundamentally believe that the bad speech should not exist. Whereas I personally think the bad speech should be out in the public and then debated, and then everyone can see, oh, this is a bad idea for this reason, this reason, this reason. That, in my opinion, is far more healthy because who gets to be the arbiter of free speech? Who gets to decide what is bad speech and what is good speech and what is misinformation? And another thing is, even if those rules are clear and it's decided what is bad speech and what is good speech, the rules, for the most part, are very selectively enforced. If I was to say half of the things that the supreme leader of Iran has said on his Twitter account, by the way, this tweet still up, if I was to say anything even remotely close to that, I would be deplatformed immediately. I would have the full wrath of big tech breathing down my neck. The Southern Poverty Law Center would write a memoir about me, but the supreme leader of Iran can tweet about it, and the tweet is still up and has been up for years. It is crazy. Another thing I strongly dislike is censorship being cloaked behind the phrase misinformation, because quite frankly, a lot of the misinformation that people were banned for turned out to not quite be misinformation at all, and turned out to be entirely correct. If you were to say certain things that we know are true about COVID right now and the vaccine right now, you would have been banned off of YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of those things. If you were to say them, even though they are correct, you would have been banned back then for misinformation. If you are the New York Post talking about the Hunter Biden laptop that was real, you were banned, even though it was correct, for misinformation. So that is really bad. Again, who gets to decide what is misinformation and what isn't? Let's pretend that you genuinely do post some misinformation. You just get something wrong. You make a mistake. Are you just not allowed to do that anymore? Do you just get banned? Why is CNN allowed to make mistakes constantly and be sued for libel, but a random guy in his basement gets kicked off the platform immediately? And then it turns out he was right the entire time. It is crazy. I really dislike all of it. I hate it all. And then another thing I really dislike is I dislike people getting banned off of platforms for things they did on other platforms. Andrew Tate is probably the most extreme example of somebody being deplatformed despite the fact that he never really broke any of the terms of service himself. He didn't get like 3 strikes on his YouTube channel and his YouTube channel was taken down. He didn't upload a picture of his dick to Instagram and get his Instagram banned. No, they pretty much, big tech just colluded all together and decided that, hey, we don't really like this guy. We don't have a real reason. He says things that are mean, or people upload clips of him saying mean things. Like, it was so bizarre because, like, he wasn't even uploading the clips himself. It's a very bizarre situation where he didn't break any of the rules himself, but they kind of just didn't like him. So they nuked him on all of his own personal platforms, but then other people are still posting Andrew. Like, he is not gone, bro. Like, it's very bizarre. So I really don't like that you can just get deplatformed and banned for just not being liked and not even like breaking the rules. Like, if I'm let's say somebody is a convicted felon and did something really bad 20 years ago, is he not allowed to have a YouTube channel now? Like, it's very bizarre. Where is the line? On the bright side, Twitter has unbanned Andrew Tate, and I'm hoping that we see that act as a bit of a chilling effect to this coordinated deplatforming. When one of the big players like Twitter doesn't play ball, the deplatforming strategy itself loses a lot of its power, because if you get banned off of Instagram, you can still follow them on Twitter, for example. It really does need to be like you're cutting out cancer where you need to get it all. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless and it just grows right back. So I'm very happy to see that one of the big boys is no longer playing ball. But I'm also hoping that we see some genuine economic pressure to not participate in this censorship. I'm hoping that these alternate tech websites like Rumble and all the other things popping up here and there, that their whole claim to fame is just that we're just going to let people do what they want. I'm hoping that we see that just have a whole chilling effect on all of this craziness happening. When it comes to freedom of speech on Twitter, there is still one massive gay frog in the room that we haven't addressed yet, and that is that Alex Jones is still banned on Twitter. And to be honest, I don't think he's going to get unbanned, especially with his $1.5 billion with a B dollar judgment against him. He genuinely may be a legal liability to have on Twitter. I don't know. I would love to see him on Twitter again, just because it would be a real statement that we are, that Twitter is going to be an open marketplace for ideas, as insane and as ridiculous as they may be. I love to see somebody like Alex Jones back on Twitter. And also, even the people I don't find entertaining, like Ethan Klein, let him back on. He did something stupid. Give him his warning. If he ever does it again, permaban, I'm sure. But let all these crazy fucking lefties back on too. And there's not many of them that got banned, but go ahead and let them back on again too. I would love to just see everybody just get a fresh slate. I think that would be fantastic. Overall, I think that free speech absolutism is the only moral stance you can have, because really nobody should be trusted with the power of defining what hate speech or misinformation is, as we have seen in real life in 2020. Also, I think that the best way to defeat bad ideas and defeat, genuine hate is to debate it in the public square and just physically show people why these are bad ideas. Otherwise, you just create martyrs and almost embolden those bad ideas when you just completely outright censor them. As of recently, this entire YouTube channel has been demonetized, so if you're enjoying the content, consider making a small donation. Also, click the link tree down below and follow me on all of my other various social medias as I'm trying to diversify. Thanks again for all the support, everybody. Have a good one.